it goes back to Neil Postman and living in a world where your brain is wired for imagery, not for speaking and oral tradition and verbal communication primarily. And for Dostoevsky, him being exposed to that early in his life. I mean, who knows how many stories you heard from adults or relatives or a grandparent or whatever, the stuff he learned in school, his just a natural talent for telling stories to people from an early age because he sees what it does to his audience. And he just was exercising that muscle from a very early age, but then also was nurtured. That talent was nurtured versus something you might have to fight against because we are raised in an image-based culture.
Yeah.
So don't sell yourself too short on that. And that's what, as you were talking about Dostoevsky doing that, I was thinking back on Postman going, what are we losing by everything being so image-based? And is that an example? Like, we almost can't have an illiteracy in a sense.
Yeah. You could probably even argue, though, that images are more effective at translating the unexplainable qualities of our world.
Yeah.
I think some of the best prose is so effective because it is so image-based. It's so, you're perfectly capturing some grand visual metaphor or some visual idea in a very economic, presentation of a sentence or a couple of sentences or a paragraph. And I almost wonder if maybe our world being so image-based isn't, maybe it's not the same.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not worse.
Yeah, and I don't know that it's worse.
You talk about you think about Herzog and like the degradation of our language, and I think that our language goes for phonetic and visual.
Yeah.
You could argue that for sure that our language is starting to degrade, or that the sophistication. Like, I don't think biblical imagery and TikTok. The average TikTok video is, I don't think those are comparable things.
No.
And you probably are losing a lot in that fall off, but yeah.
I was watching a video from a movie critic and talked about the prevalence of having watched a lot of movies that have just incredible imagery, or sort of like you're bombarded in a very stimulating way with rapid fire imagery, or just like stunning visuals, whether it's the quality of the CGI or the way the spaceship moves or the way the characters are fighting or whatever it is. And you're just like so blown away with the imagery that it isn't until a few hours later, days later, where you go, but what the hell did I just watch? What was the story? Like this sort of vapid, soulless, nothing thing, because the brain of the creator is so connected to these powerful images.
Yeah.
And while they are beautiful,
they're empty.
Yeah, they're empty. It's missing the connective tissue and the quality storytelling and all the stuff that we crave. And part of why you might be particularly drawn to older movies, especially I like movies where I feel like I'm watching the filming of a play.
Yeah.
Big long master, like long takes, dialogue, room to breathe, all that stuff. I remember watching James Gunn's interview about the Superman movie, and it was such like a huge risk to have a 12-minute scene of two people talking. In a superhero movie. Like this was someone taking a major creative risk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is what it's come to.
Meanwhile, yeah, you've got The Shining on repeat all
Yeah.
the time, and it's just the complete opposite.
Or Casablanca, or The Third Man, or The River. I have the Criterion version of that on Laserdisc.
What did I watch the other day? That's man, I've really been watching a lot of. I watched Touch of Evil the other day.
Mm-hmm.
The older I get, the more Wells was one of those people who, you take the first film class and you're like, Orson Welles.
Yeah.
And the professor is like, Orson Welles, this is the greatest film ever. And then, at least in my experience, I'm like, oh, going back, I don't think the professor believed that. I think it was more of like, this is the greatest because I need to say this.
I'm expected to.
Yeah. And I wish that the professor had that experience, or they would have just said like what their favorites were, because I mean we talked about it earlier this year with Citizen Kane in particular.
Yeah,
I do think like I'd seen that movie 4 times, and then we saw it last year downtown, and we left the theater. I was like, that might be the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, I was
that might be the best movie I've ever that's ever been put to the screen. And it just, something about it unlocked it for me. And the more I go back to Wells' work, F is for Fake, Touch of Evil. Touch of Evil is what I watched the other day, and I'm just blown away.
Yep.
And not because of the technical side that people get excited about. It's like that's completely secondary. It's just the craft of telling such a just resonant story. It's just such a truthful, just unafraid engagement with with the world.
It had been a golden afternoon, and I remember having the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer.